equity has grown over the last 1 year by 14%, when I guess the banking industry is growing at 3%, to surpass half $1 trillion shillings. It's the confidence in customers where their funds are growing by 13% at a time when deposit in the banking industry has flattened. That gives us huge confidence about what the public thinks about us. The bank registers profit before tax of 13.3 billion shillings and 9.4 billion shillings profit after tax, again confirming the sustainability of the business model. During turbulent movements, very challenging environment, but because of the business model's resilience, we are able to get fairly significant returns. And we can see the impact of innovation. Look at it, we started just a year and a half ago with PayPal contributing 11% of remittances from diaspora, but it's now 40%. We've just launched another revolutionary product we are calling Wave, which is not even visible, but maybe will be visible for the next quarter. But again, it's very disruptive, and it will be able to take maybe 50% of all remittances being brought from the diaspora. We have developed a new business model because we wanted sustainability, we wanted predictability by our investors. If you look at the balance sheet, you see positive and realized gains. When you look at those three major indicators, interest rates, exchange rate, and inflation, the impression one would get is that the economy would be growing extremely fast because they are all in positive territory. But when you really go to the economy, you start seeing maybe that's not necessarily true in terms of GDP growth rate. And the question then one wonders, microeconomic indicators and their trend is very supportive. Why is GDP showing signs of a decline? Why is the economy not firing as one would expect in an environment of low interest rates, in an environment of stable exchange rates, and in an environment where inflation is not a major issue? The excuse we have used in the past, it is an election year. But when you look at the NSE, it's fairly telling that we haven't had a situation. If you look from May all the way from March, we have been on upward trend. The index moving all the way from 120 to nearly 165. So one can't say it was the elections, because the NSE is the biggest indicator of whether the market has received a viva. This will be really a measure. We are left with the question, what is causing our GDP to decline, growth rate to decline? What is really driving that slowdown on the economy? And want to suggest that the real big elephant in the economy is the banking industry. It's the only thing that can explain the slack growth is the banking industry. And that leads us then to really put the thesis ahead that the banking industry is going through a very challenging environment. What business model can operate in an environment where microeconomic environment is very, very suitable, but where the banking industry is experiencing very turbulent headwinds? And we have seen the headwinds that are there, brought about by capping, brought about by uncertainty, by public confidence, and impeding implementation of FRS 9. A real focus on non-funded income because there is no loan growth. Regional diversification because there is no interest capping in Tanzania, there is no interest capping in Rwanda, Uganda, DRC. There is nothing like uncertainty in those markets. There is no inversion. The interbank markets are operating perfectly in those markets.